As you can see, this Furby is mute and his eyes don't move. So we're going to start off by taking the feet off with a number 2 triangle screwdriver bit, and then taking the panel off with a number 2 Phillips screwdriver bit. Some Furbies have adhesive, some don't. It doesn't really hurt the fur to pull the adhesive off right when you're getting at the clips. So go ahead and unclip all of the clips on the side, front, and back. And this Furby specifically has screws holding on the fur. It does also have a sync screw between the eyes. And everything's sewn on, including the head flap, the ears, and the brow. This is where the sync screw is. I really don't want to mess with that right now, so I'm just going to clip that plastic. We can always glue it later. And now here you can see where the eye isn't connected. There's a little loop back there, a connection that the eye goes into. I'm going to go ahead and take the beak off because I think it's in okay enough condition and it won't need much to readjust. As you have mentioned before, sometimes these screws do break the plastic, so something I've noticed that helps me is to hold the plastic in place somewhat while I'm unscrewing it. Now I'm just taking the back and the front panel off, carefully watching the wires, but before I go ahead and work on the speaker, I will go ahead and bend that flap over the connection behind the eyelid to where it clips in place. After doing that, now that we've removed the front panel, we're going to want to push down on this little clip here and pull forward with the tummy. It should click out perfectly fine. Sometimes things do break, but that's why UV glue on the side is helpful. If you haven't already, just unwrap the wires to where the speaker is more easily accessible. We're going to go ahead and unscrew this panel here. This is a Phillips size number 1. Now that the panel's off, I take the wires out of this little corner here. It's a little too rough with the tweezers, so I'm going to have to go back and glue that. But the speaker itself isn't held on by the adhesive, so I can just use some tweezers and kind of pull it up on the side. As you can see, it's covered in rust. It makes sense that this speaker doesn't work anymore. In addition to that, it's no longer magnetized on the back, which is also a pretty good indication of it not working. The 1998 and the 2005 Furby used the same speaker. It's pretty easy to find a replacement on Amazon, so I'll leave a link in the description below. I'll also make a list of all of the tools I used for the repair. Getting back to the speaker, again, I only have a wood burning tool, so it's not a very precise soldering tool, but it's heated up all of the way, and I'm just melting the solder enough to where I can pull the wires away. Here's what our new speaker looks like. Much better. We're going to solder the 2 wires in the same position they were in the previous speaker. If you've never soldered anything before, I'd recommend looking at a video, but essentially we're just heating up the wire and the plate and rubbing that solder near the tip of the heat to where it melts onto the plate. Now we're just going to put everything back the way we found it. Speaker back in its place, putting the panel back on, sliding the wires back into the compartment of the panel, screwing everything back up. Quickly, I'm going to go ahead and adjust that beak as well. Replacing the face and the back plate. And testing them out. If you like this video and you want to see more repairs, go ahead and hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.